On January the 6th, I was accosted by the Facebook fact checkers, who promptly shut down my commercial account, my EV Carnage account, and banned me from making money from any adverts or anything like that, and also shadow banned all my videos so that they didn't appear on people's feeds. It's a very common tactic on Facebook. And here's the big thing. All they tell you is that you've been banned by Facebook fact checkers for misinformation or false news. I think I got both of those. And they cited 2 videos. But they don't tell you what the videos are. Now, I've posted roughly 40 Facebook Reels. Reels are the 90-second videos that you post on Facebook. They can be longer, but they're meant to be 90 seconds. I've posted about 40. It's how I started doing this before I set up the YouTube channel. And several of them have gone viral. There's 3 or 4 on there that have had over 1 million views. And I think I'm on about 10 million views in total on Facebook for videos. And every single one, except one, is talking about milk floats and how shit they are. And it's me at a charging station invariably talking about a car, most of which I've since covered on YouTube. So there's nothing on there that you haven't seen. But out of those 40 videos, I couldn't work out which one had fallen foul of the false news police. And I went through them all time and time again, and I couldn't work it out. And I kept checking back to see whether they would tell me why it was. And you can appeal. So I appealed, got turned down. I appealed again, got turned down. But I think you can appeal like every 2 weeks. So I've appealed every 2 weeks for the past 3 months. And then eventually, they sent me a link this week to the alleged independent fact checkers who decide what is real and what is false news. And it turns out it wasn't a milk float video. Well, it was in a way, but it wasn't. That wasn't the main subject of the video. And I'm going to have to be very careful how I word this, because I don't want to fall foul of the YouTube fact checkers and get this one shut down as well. And if this is the way that they're going to police this particular story, I'm going to have to use my words carefully. So I'll have a go. Last year, like a mountain, but not a mountain with fire inside it, that erupted in a place in the Pacific that rhymes with Wonga. Now, this mountain with fire inside it that erupted in Wonga was a big one, and it emitted a hell of a lot of let's call it BO2, and you can work out what I'm talking about if I talk about BO2. And it emitted all this BO2, and it turns out that a Chinese university did a lengthy study on this mountain with fire inside it and BO2, and came to the peer-reviewed, this is the crucial thing, scientists love a bit of peer review, where they get other scientists to check their work and make sure that what they say is correct. And this was peer-reviewed by an American university who came to the same conclusion, that the amount of BO2 that this mountain with fire in it emitted into the sky last year in 1 week was the equivalent of 1 year's BO2 for the entire planet. That's 1 year's BO2 emissions for the entire planet was emitted in a week from one mountain with fire inside it. So I simply pointed out that if nature could do that, then what the hell is everybody worried about? Because you can do as much as you like. You can drive a milk float. You can recycle. You can offset your I've got to use different words, Barbie emissions, and you can do all that. All we need to have is one mountain with fire inside to pop itself up, pop the lid off itself, spew its guts, and the whole year's work is undone in a second, like that, done. And that's been proven. Of course, you know, you're not going to see this on BBC 6 o'clock news tonight, and you're not going to see it on any news channel because it don't fit the narrative. But it's there and it's real. So I did a quick video on it, much quicker than the one I'm doing now, but I use real words. And that one video, about 3 minutes long, was enough for Facebook to shut me down and never ever let me earn money from its platform again, and never ever hit the reach that I did. My reach in November was 3 million. December it dropped to 1.8 million, and by the end of January it dropped to 325,000. And that was solely because they were shadow banning me. So the message is clear. You can talk about whatever you want on social media as long as it fits the narrative. Milk floats, they haven't quite caught up with the terminology for milk floats yet, so I seem to be alright there. But there's clearly key words that trigger the bots, and then the bots trigger the fact checkers, and then the fact checkers trigger the human beings, and the human beings then go, no, we can't have this because it doesn't fit. Hence why I've used my very clever coded words. And if this backfires on me on YouTube, I could be gutted. But it took me 3 months to work that out, because in this modern world that we live in, you're not innocent until proven guilty. You're guilty with no chance of proving yourself innocent, because they won't let you. You can ask to be innocent and they'll say no, because in their mind you're guilty and nothing's ever going to change that, ever. So that's it, you're done forever, because you have a different opinion. To be fair, it wasn't even opinion. I was simply stating facts that I'd read, and anybody can read. If you Google Tonga Mountain with fire in it, it'll come up top line of Google. Google aren't shadow banning it. I bet they are now. But they weren't back in January when I read the story and then talked about it. So there you go. If you want to get yourself banned on Facebook, talk about the fiery belly of a mountain. And if you want to keep going on Facebook, which I should have done, just talk about milk floats continuously, because they didn't seem too bothered with that at all, as long as I didn't swear or incite violence or call somebody a minger. I did that once and got banned for 7 days. So there you have it. Democratic free speech Britain, where you can have as much free speech as you want, as long as it's the right speech about the right subjects, saying the right things. Otherwise it don't count. What a wonderful world we live in. Quite literally, present my arse. Never mind future my arse.